Pokemon cards have gone absolutely crazy in the market, with cards like Marshadow reaching over $100 and cards from sets as recent as Black Bolt and White Flare going over $60 when they weren't even $20 before. Today I wanted to go over some of these drastic changes and tell you whether it may or may not be worth it. And I also wanted to show you some cards that have been set in the market for a while that I think are worth picking up and are highly slept on in the Pokemon TCG. So to explain the premise of this video, I'm going to use Marshadow as an example, because Marshadow is a card that came out in Mega Evolutions and is a fairly new card. It is a regular illustration rare, which you have about a 1 in 9 chance of pulling in the Mega Evolution set. So when this card had first come out, and for reference, this is TCGPlayer. If you guys don't know what TCGPlayer is where people sell their cards, whether you're a big company, LLC, or you're just a small guy like me. You can sell your cards on here, you ship them to people, super easy. And what people often do on TCGPlayer is 1, buy cards, and 2, use the market price as a comp for trading and selling. So this Marshadow, for example, when it first came out, was a $40 card. It's a fairly easy pull, but there are a lot of illustration rares, so inevitably one illustration rare, if there's like 20 of them, will get like the bonus treatment, because in this Marshadow card there is a Pikachu, a cool looking Marshadow, and overall it's just a really cool card. Who wouldn't want this card? So here's the part where the manipulation comes into play. When a card steadily goes up over time, we can kind of say, hey, maybe that card was slept on, maybe a bunch of people enjoy this card. What happens in this scenario, guys, is there's usually a large group of people, whether it be in a Discord or a community or whatever the case may be, and they will just look at the total median current quantity. So right here it says 240. They will get around a couple hundred people, 50, 60, 70 people. Maybe it's only a couple people, and they will buy out everything, leaving this market to go from 40 to 41 to instantly within a day to $85. And this can cause a lot of people to FOMO, fear of missing out. If like a card is now $80 and it's something that I wanted and I was kind of waiting for it to go down, and now it's $80, I might be a little scared and I might buy for 80 in the fear that it might go up even further. So that's why this stuff happens. It inevitably does go down right here. We're at 45 market. There's sales for 39, but me including, I also thought this was going to be a very expensive card, and I didn't think it was going to go down that much. There's no way of telling with the Pokemon market. And I'll give you another example of a card that didn't really go down and it had the same effect. Here we have a Seismitoad card. This is from the last set, Black Bolt. And one of the reasons for this card blowing up was because it's one made by a creator called Shinji Kanda, who has a bunch of famous artworks, such as the Giratina from Lost Origin, the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved, and this card. And another reason that the community clamored this would be a sought out card is because it has a 666 text. I don't know if you can see it right there, but it says 666. So people thought Pokemon was gonna ban it, or at least that's what they tried to make people believe. That's why they were gonna ban it. They're not gonna ban it. And that kind of caused a drastic chart from 64 to $222, which is absolutely insane. Charts like this, more oftentimes than not, you want to see a healthier chart, let me show you something. This is the Squirtle from Stellar Crown. This is a healthier chart. As you can see, it is a very, very nice card, but over the 6 months, it has gone down and then up more steadily over time. This is a lot easier to like say, hey, this is a legit price hike, as opposed to the Seismitoad, which just instantly went up, which leads us to believe that it is market manipulation and someone's just buying them all out. Now, what happens in certain cases is that, yeah, this gets shot to the moon, it comes down a little, and then it goes back up. And if you didn't buy at the bottom right here, you kind of missed out. The Marshadow, the same thing happened, but almost immediately after the set dropped. So there is like a good reason to FOMO and buy this card at $80, $90, even though that might seem silly to some. Who knows with the Pokemon community what they value, because your opinion is not my opinion. We're not going to have the same opinion. I might value this card way higher than you do. So overall, this has been happening with a ton of cards recently, and a lot of the times the community tries to dub a card with a name. For example, we have the 151 Charizard. Let's go to the 151 Charizard. And a lot of people will call this Charizard the short neck Charizard. It comes synonymous with the name. And, you know, that's how everyone identifies the card. And that almost brings a sort of value to a card because you can identify a card by a silly, goofy nickname. Same thing happened with this Mew card. We call it Bubble Mew. It's become synonymous with the community. If you say Bubble Mew, they will know what you're talking about. And it helps that it's a very popular Pokemon, just like the short neck Charizard. So these cards have price hikes due to that reason. Now, with Black Bolt and White Flare, we recently had some price hikes on some cards. This is the same creator as the Mew card, and people were calling it Booger Mew, just trying to give it any name to try and hike the price, any excuse to hike the price. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, do not fall for this. This is all the community trying to manipulate the card. This is not a $60 cards, and as you can see, it's already coming down. I can guarantee you this, guys, it will be $20, $30 by next week or the week after. This is by no means comparable to a card like Mew, which is iconic in the Pokemon series, not comparable to a Charizard, which is iconic in the Pokemon series. And I guess you could make the argument for the creator Shinji Kanda because he's becoming iconic within the Pokemon TCG community. So guys, don't fall for this. There's another one. So this was the Booger Mew. And I think they called this one the Dynamo, like a squishy Mew. So if there's any like outlandish names for cards like this, guys, and you see it passed around, whether it be on Reddit, Twitter, or anywhere on social media or in person, don't fall for it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but I do want to save you some money. And I do want to show you some cards that I think have set in the market and I personally think are worth it and actually are slept on. So that is the point of this video, guys. Now that I explained to you the market side of this, I want to show you guys some cards that I think are absolutely worth it and you should be investing in or just collecting. It doesn't even always have to be an investment, guys. A lot of these cards, they may never go up in price, but on the off chance they do ever go up in price, I think they're worth picking up. I think they're beautiful cards. I would collect them. I do have some in my collection, not all of them because, you know, money, but these are awesome cards and I wanted to give you the heads up on these cards before anyone else does. Up first, we have a card that I'm absolutely a massive fan of, and it's an original 151 Pokemon, so that should be all the reason you guys should be picking it up. And it's from a set that's not really popular. Even though it was a Charizard set, people really did not like this set. This is the Gloom from Obsidian Flames, and this Gloom card is absolutely amazing. It's like a psychedelic fantasy botanical card. And another thing I really like about this card, guys, if you know me, I like cards with dual Pokemon in them. And in this card, this Gloom card, you can see some Weedles just chilling at the bottom of the card, and I think that's absolutely awesome. This is honestly better than most of the cards from 151, which was a dedicated 151 series. This card is up there just as good as almost any card in that set, and it's only lightly played $12. Near mint, it is around $14. $10, guys. You can get this for $10. This card clears most of the cards in 151, which is going for around $20 a booster pack, which is insane. So if you guys don't want to rip Obsidian Flame or rip 151 for original OG cards, this is definitely a really good pickup, guys. And if you're not a fan of that Gloom, that's okay. There's actually a lot of really cool IRs in this Obsidian Flame set. I personally wouldn't recommend trying to open for them, but you can actually buy them for pretty cheap. This Cleffa is only $24 market. I only see this card going up to the moon because it's just an elegant Pokemon just vibing with the universe all around them, which is really cool. I really enjoy this card. And also, I'm not as big a fan of the Pidgeotto, the Pidgeot, and the Pidgey cards, but there is a set collection of Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. And I would just say the Cleffa, the Gloom, and even the Ice-Q as a special illustrated rare. It's only $5, guys. So this has a lot of really good options. I would definitely take a look at Obsidian Flame. These cards are really cool. I've really enjoyed the all white and the little penguin with a fire head. I think that's really cool. It might never really grow to be an expensive card. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you, but it is a really cool card nonetheless. But I highly believe in the Gloom. I highly believe in this Ninetales. I highly believe in that Cleffa. Definitely go pick those cards up before they go up any further. This Chita card from Temporal Forces is a really, really cool card. So if you guys are looking at this card, it doesn't look anything crazy. You just see a bunch of Chitats on what seems to be power lines, but there's a small little hidden secret within this card. They're not just on power lines in any random order. They are in a specific order because they are basically musical notes. The way they're set up on this power line is supposed to mimic what a Chitat sounds like. So for example, this Chitat sounds like this, and it goes so it's supposed to mimic the noise a Chitat makes. And on the bottom, you probably are wondering what this is. This is the Pokemon Center healing jingle. So it's ding 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 bong ding, bang 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 bang. So it's a really cool Easter egg about this card, and not many cards in Pokemon have these Easter eggs. So I think this is an amazing card. If you guys are big into music, I think this is a really, really cool Easter egg. And I honestly think it's a really, really affordable card too. It is only, the lowest listing is $5.69. So this might not be something that grows heavily in price over time, but it is an insanely cool card to own. I wish I owned it personally. I might pick it up the next time I see it. It's a really, really cool card with a really cool Easter egg. And if you guys are into music like me, you might really appreciate this card. If you are not a fan of music, there are other cards in Temporal Forces. Not the big boys. I'm not trying to go over the big boys today. And honestly, I'm not really a big fan of the big boys in this set. The Metagross is cool. The Cincino is cool. This Lickitung is really cool. I really gravitate towards this Drampa card. Now, the reason I really like this Drampa card is it gives me almost like a Studio Ghibli vibe. I really, really enjoy this card. I don't ever really see this card being super, super expensive, but you never know with Pokemon. And this Pokemon also has dual Pokemon in it. As you see below, there is a Butterfree down below, and I said I like Pokemon cards with dual Pokemon, and it's just two kids on a Drampa. It just gives me a nostalgic Studio Ghibli vibe. I really, really enjoy this card. It just tickles my brain a little bit. There's something about this card that I just genuinely love. And the Pokemon Drampa might not be the most sought after Pokemon, but if there was any Pokemon card that would make me care about Drampa, this is definitely it. I heavily enjoy this. The card is only at most $8.11 if you care about damage cards or having a near min card. I personally don't care if it's damaged, because if it's in my binder, it looks pretty damn good unless it has like a crease in the top. If it's just the corners or the back, it still looks pretty damn good in my binder. But if you wanted it lightly played, or if you wanted it near min, lightly played is around $10, near mint around $11 after shipping. I think that's a pretty damn good deal. And Temporal Forces might not have the best Pokemon. It might be a lot of the ancient Pokemon, but I think those are some hidden sleepers that you may or may not know about. And if you guys do know about it now, definitely check that out. Up next is this Magby, and it's from arguably one of the best sets in Scarlet and Violet. Now, this is purely just my opinion, but I think Paradox Rift is a highly, highly underrated set, and I'll go into that after I go over this Magby card. This Magby card is just so freaking adorable. Instead of Pokemon just chilling in the water, I feel like we've had lots of Pokemon just chilling in the water. This Magby is chilling in lava, and something about how it's drawn, it gives me like a comic booky vibe. I love the way it was sketched. And overall, it's just a really, really cool card. If you guys are a fan of the smaller baby type Pokemon, this might be up your alley. I know a lot of people don't like the big Pokemon with too much going on, and this is very simple. He's just in a volcano in lava, chilling in water. Little mountains in the background, blue sky, and it's a relatively cheap card. It's $11 market, $12 market. You can get it for as cheap as $11.45 lightly played, near mint probably that $12 mark, which I think is really, really good. But overall, Paradox Rift is just a hidden gem in the Scarlet and Violet era, and this was the fourth set released in the Scarlet and Violet era. Paradox Rift just doesn't get the love that it deserves, and I think one of the big reasons why it doesn't get the love that it deserves is because it doesn't have that one main card that everyone chases. The big card in this set is the Groudon, which goes for 96, which is a cool card. I'm not a massive fan, so I probably wouldn't look to pick it up, but it would definitely be something probably smart to pick up. I would say cards like the Swablu, which is just absolutely adorable. You have the little Wingull on the bottom, just chilling, just blending in. The Swablu just blending in with all of them, which I think is really, really cool. And again, dual Pokemon cards. We have the plus, we have the minus, we have the Tapu Koko, which isn't a popular card at all, guys, but I do own this card. I think it's a phenomenal SIR. The vibrant colors, the Miami Nights. I don't really care about Tapu Koko, but this card actually makes me care about Tapu Koko. So I love this card. Paradox Rift just has a lot of cards that make me go, wow, I never cared about this Pokemon until now. This Loudred is just so colorful, super cool. It's like a comic book Guitar Hero, like, bing, where all the noise is coming out from him. So overall, Paradox Rift just very, very slept on. Iron Hands, couldn't care less about this Pokemon until I saw this card. I really, really want this card. He's just going through all the walls. These are all really, really affordable cards, guys. If you have never seen these cards before, definitely go through Paradox Rift. That's another set, another sleeper set where you could probably get everything from this set for a reasonable price. Trust me, it's one of the most hidden gems in the Scarlet and Violet era. This Tatsugiri from Twilight Masquerade, also just another sleeper card. It is not the cheapest card. It is a $19 to $20 card, so it's one of the more expensive cards that I'm gonna have on this list, but it is nonetheless a really, really cool card. It almost looks like the main Tatsugiri on this card is giving like the Rock's eyebrow, almost like a reverse Rock's eyebrow. No, definitely a Rock's eyebrow. There's like an eyebrow right here, and just looking like menacingful in the card. We have one right here giving the bombastic side eye. This one just minding his own business, looking cute. And so this one, and overall, this is just a really cool card. I'm a really big fan of colorful cards, and this card just pops out. Comparatively to everything else in Twilight Masquerade, I think this is one of the best cards for the price. You can get it for just about $20. I genuinely think this card will go up even more slowly, maybe not a lot over time, but since July it's gone up $5. It seems the community really does vibe with this card. I vibe with this card, and maybe you too will vibe with this card. Other cards from Twilight Masquerade that I really do enjoy, definitely this Growlithe. This Growlithe is really cool, and one of the best things about this Growlithe is it's kind of like a dual card in a sense. So as you'll see, there are some feet right here at the foot of Growlithe, and I don't expect anyone to collect this because this card is more expensive, but I just wanted to point it out. It is the parent. She is taking a photo of the Growlithe, and you can actually see in the photo or in the camera lens, you can actually see the Growlithe looking back up at her. So I think that's a really, really cool Easter egg that we see in these cards, and I absolutely love when Pokemon does stuff like this. But yeah, there's some cool cards like the Chansey, which is getting a little expensive right now. But if you wanted to keep it cheaper, I would definitely recommend the Tatsugiri. The Infernape is pretty cool, not my favorite. The Pinsir is pretty cute. Really, the only thing I really see out of this set that I personally am just instantly drawn to. Everything else is pretty cool, but again, that's just my opinion. I think the Tatsugiri kind of clears a lot in this set. Up next is a card I think is going to go absolutely nuclear come next year, whether it be the beginning of the year or summer of next year. It is the Wailord from Journey Together. Now, Journey Together is a little bit of a newer set. I believe it came out in March, April, May. Somewhere over there. I kind of lose track of time with Pokemon. We get so many new releases, but this card is just absolutely outstanding. They have a Wailord just absolutely vertical, looking up at just a sun setting with a purplish, pinkish, yellowish sky. I don't know why did I say purple? I guess it's kind of purple, but a pinkish, yellowish sky with the coral reef, which is just absolutely beautiful and super colorful. And I think Journey Together, guys, I know a lot of people in the Pokemon community hate on Journey Together. Journey Together is not a bad set. It's not as good of a set as some of the sets that were sandwiched together, but overall this set is very, very slept on, and I give it 2 years, 3 years, everyone and their mother will want this set. This Wailord is only $19. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I would highly recommend getting this card at $18. I see no reason why this card will go down. It seems as if the community tried to pump it a little bit, which is a little inauthentic, but overall, I genuinely think this card will be around $30 to $40 come the beginning of next year. I would put a sizable amount of money that this card will be around that. Now, when it comes to Journey Together, the whole set isn't the best, but it does have a lot of really cool IRs. This is just a beautiful IR. Definitely, I think it's better than the Moltres and the Zapdos, personally. I think this card is amazing. I just love the colors on this card. And it's only a $20 card. I only see this card going up. And Articuno is an original 151 Pokemon, so I see no reason for this card to go down. This Ends Reshiram is also a really cool pickup. I don't think it's insanely crazy. I don't think it'll go up in an astronomical amount, but you never know with Reshiram. And it's a very subtle trainer card. People don't like trainers in the cards, but I think it's a beautiful card. And you can get it heavily played for $10. Like I said, it could sit on your binder. If you just like collecting things, it could sit in your binder and it'll probably look just as good. So you can get this for $10 damaged, or you could just get it for $14 near mint. At that point, probably should just get it near mint. It's only a couple extra dollars with the shipping. So definitely look out for this card. Look out for the Wailord. I guarantee you guys, mark my words, these cards will be going to the moon come next year. Up next, we have this Meryl from Paldea Evolved, and I can't say enough about this card. It has everything you would want in a Pokemon card. One, it's super bright and colorful. It has a ton of Pokemon like Love Disc and Bruxish, and it's just a stinking adorable card from a really cool set. I mean, it's using its tail as its a life jacket, which seems to be on a beach or some tropical island. So I think that's really cool. And it is starting to get a little pricey. I lied. This is probably going to be the most expensive card. Back in July, it was $20. It has gone all the way up to $25. You can get a heavily played version for $20 if you just want to keep it in your binder, a moderately played version for $22, and a near mint version probably for that $25 price tag. There we go, 25, which I think is a really good pickup, guys. I only see this card going up once again, as are all the cards in this video. If I think it's not going to go up, I'll say that before, but I do think this is going to continue to go up, and I do think that a lot of cards from Paldea Evolved are going to go up. I do see the Meryl kind of replicating what this Sleepy Raichu does. For whatever reason, Pokemon fans are just completely enamored with sleeping Pokemon, or Pokemon that are just chilling in the pool, and I don't blame them. It's really cute. This Ice Cube is a really stinking adorable card, literally getting his own head stuck in the freezer, or seemingly having his head frozen while in the freezer, which is really cool. I think this is a super adorable card, and you'll see a lot of cards in Paldea Evolved are very interesting. I don't know what exactly you would call this artwork, but the Baxcalibur and his whole evolution line have this artwork. So if you're a fan of this, like almost like painting, like old school painting type Pokemon, that could be for you too, and it's pretty affordable. So I think Paldea Evolved is a great set to look at as well, but definitely the Meryl is just my #1 card in this set. I don't want to bore you guys with too much yapping, but let me know down below what cards you think are severely underrated. I kept this specifically to the Scarlet and Violet era and tried not to do some of the newer sets. Journey Together was as far as I got, but I'm curious to see what cards you think are super undervalued, and if there's any cards that were on this list that you agree with or disagree with. Take care, guys, and I will see you on the next one.